Who is Roger Federer? He was the Swiss assassin who dominated the sport of tennis for more than a decade. He was world number one for a staggering 310 weeks and held 103 singles titles, including 20 majors across his illustrious career. And the best part of all was, he made it look effortless. Or so we thought. Last week, Roger Federer was given an honorary doctorate by the University of Dartmouth, and while he was collecting the honour, he delivered the university's commencement address. In the 25-minute address, which I'll link in the description below, he discusses all things life in tennis, and he makes 3 great points which I think are worth a deeper look. So, let's unpack Federer's 3 lessons for life, and be sure to stick around, as the last one is probably the most important thing you'll hear today. So firstly, lesson 1, effortless is a myth.
Effortless is a myth. I mean it. I say that as someone who has heard that word a lot. Effortless. People would say my play was effortless. Most of the time, they meant it as a compliment. But it used to frustrate me when they would say he barely broke a sweat. Or he's even trying. The truth is, I had to work very hard to make it look easy. I spent years whining, swearing, throwing my racket before I learned to keep my cool. The wake-up call came early in my career when an opponent at the Italian Open publicly questioned my mental discipline. So I started to train harder, a lot harder actually. But then I realized winning effortlessly is the ultimate achievement. I got that reputation because my warm-ups at the tournaments were so casual that people didn't think I'd been training hard. But I had been working hard before the tournament when nobody was watching.
This is a really important lesson that we can all take into our lives. You don't get anywhere on talent alone, and if we want to be great and succeed, you need to put the hard work in behind the scenes. We all remember that one kid in school who just made it look easy. They would constantly get straight A's, and it just appeared effortless to them. Looking back in hindsight, I now know that that child was probably grafting behind the scenes and working really hard, while I was just sitting there playing Tony Hawks and having Nerf fights. It's the same across any walk of life. Think about great artists, authors, musicians. They're all great because they put so much time and effort into their craft. Whenever you see a great musician play, it may appear effortless, but that effortlessness...
Well, that's easy for you to say.
That effortlessness is actually accumulation of all the hours of work and effort and dedication they've put in. Okay, time for lesson number 2 with Dr. Federer.
It's only a point. Let me explain. You can work harder than you thought possible and still lose. Every tournament ends the same way. One player gets a trophy, every other player gets back on a plane, stares out of the window and thinks, how the hell did I miss that shot? Perfection is impossible. In the 1,526 singles matches I played in my career, I won almost 80% of those matches. What percentage of points do you think I won in those matches? Only 54%. The truth is, whatever game you play in life, sometimes you're going to lose. A point, a match, a season, a job. It's a roller coaster with many ups and downs. But negative energy is wasted energy. The best in the world are not the best because they win every point. It's because they know they'll lose again and again and have learned how to deal with it.
Again, these are such wise words, and someone listening to this needs to hear them. You will have setbacks in life and you will fail, but it's not the setbacks that define you. It's the ability to pick yourself up and go again. Treat each loss or setback as an opportunity to grow. Don't just forget about it and move on, but analyze it and think, what have I done wrong and what could I do better to improve next time? Don't let failure be the reason you're afraid to take risks. Remember that every successful person has faced numerous failures and challenges, but it's their persistence and their ability to move past those that has set them apart from the rest. You need to embrace challenges as part of your journey and not see it as the end of the road. In the inspirational words of Chumbawamba,
I get knocked down. I get knocked down again. You're never gonna knock me down.
Right, third and final takeaway from Big Rog, and this is an important one.
Life is bigger than the court. I worked a lot, learned a lot, and ran a lot of miles in that small space, but the world is a whole lot bigger than that. Even when I was just starting out, I knew that tennis could show me the world, but tennis could never be the world.
So now Roger has entered the Disney portion of his speech.
I can show you the world.
I joke, but the point he's making is probably the most important point in this entire speech. Life is much more than the work you do or the silly things you obsess over. We can all fall guilty of spending too much time in the office or wrapped up in our own head with trivial little things that really aren't that important, instead of just taking that time to be present. Every so often we need to take a step back and remember what's really important. It's the little moments that make up a lifetime, so filling those little moments with as much joy as possible is what's ultimately going to make you feel happy and fulfilled. When you're lying on your deathbed, you won't remember the spreadsheet you spent all night working on, or the presentation you did when you should have been at your child's sports day. You will remember the things you've done and the places you have seen with the people you love. So remember, life is bigger than the court. So that's it. Those are our 3 takeaways from Uncle Roger. If you like this video, please let me know in the comments. Also, if you could like and subscribe, it would be greatly appreciated. And I will see you in the next one.